This time on Roadworthy Rescues, we pull a 55 Pontiac from the grave and put it on the dirt track. Maybe, if I can get it out of here. Hopefully this works. This week, we're back in Tennessee. We're rummaging through hubcap hills, and I think it's time we do something with this 1955 Pontiac. This is a really cool car. It's the first year of the Pontiac V8, other than one they rebranded in like 31 or 32. This is a nice two-door post car. It's pretty complete, but it's gonna take a lot to get this thing going and back on the road. But let's walk around it, see what it's gonna take, and then devise a plan to get this out of the brush and into the shop. Let's see if we can start in the trunk, actually. Here's something pretty cool. We actually have ignition sticks to this unit. I always like to start in the trunk, see what kind of engine parts we have laying back here. Wow, nothing but a spare that we probably could use. Oh, we got severe weight reduction on the deck lid. Let's just pretend we didn't see that. This is very Buick-esque, this Pontiac style, but it has really cool features like this right here that actually matches the hood on the other side of the vehicle. Speaking of hood, this head thing lights up, which we have to get that working, if nothing else. Open. I don't know how this works, if it's Bluetooth or, there we go. Sweet. That's the Strato Streak. It actually looks a lot bigger than it is, but it almost looks like the Buick Nailhead. It's just a little 287 though. We got completage. Fuel make it happeners there. Lightning whirler. Rads here. Generator. Complete with belt. Probably no warranty on that. I don't know, there's a lot of stuff here, but man, it's gonna need some work. All right, so now let's jump on the inside of this rig and see how that has fared the last 700 million years that this car's been on Earth. Oh. Wow. It smells like a violin full of old dentures. It's got a very woodsy, moist smell. This is really cool. Worth the entire purchase. Steering wheel, dash looks amazing. But I loved how beautiful the styling was in the 50s. All the makes did great. They were all very elegant, nice looking. Ha! Old car. What's in it? We got the P for the Pontiac in the hood. We got a knob. We got a button, just in case. I like that. Were these dual cigarette lighters? I think they were. Probably not. I don't know what I'm looking at. It was serviced regularly by Shell. The stickers start here and go all the way down the side. And the door is equally as rotted as the trunk, unfortunately. Ooh, we also got an ankle vent. Severe ankle vent. It's really rusted, really rusted. That's fine. Okay. That's our Pontiac. So unfortunately, this 55 Pontiac is pretty far gone. Probably too far gone for us to do some sort of restoration in just a handful of days. But I've got an idea that will get it out of the tree still, have some fun with the car and put it back on the road. We could do kind of a 50s and NASCAR theme with this thing, and then we don't have to worry and care about all the rust and rot in the floors and doors and trunk and everywhere else. That being said, it's going to be a tremendous amount of work, starting with just getting this out of the trees. So my buddy Chad is back from season 2. He's going to be helping me with this thing. What do you think about this Chieftain?
It's pretty cool. It's got an airplane, you know, a lot of rust.
A lot of rust. Doors don't close, stuff like that. But maybe we could slide this around a track, though, and have some fun.
Yeah. Sounds dangerous, but yeah.
Definitely. Okay, so first thing is probably just try to get some tires on this, get it rolling.
Yeah.
And then we'll find something to drag it out of here, get it up to the shop.
Sounds good.
All right, let's go find some tires. So I often get old cars, hide them back here under the foliage and trees, try to protect them a little bit, but they often lose tires, so this is going to be interesting. Look at the roly-polies. All right, repeat, other side. Jeez, man, you're working way too hard. It's too early for that. So we don't have any documented proof of how long this thing's been off the road, like insurance or registration or plates or anything, but from a guy's experience with automobile archaeology, I'm going to guesstimate 28 to 34.5 years this has been sitting. So this is actually going to be really cool if we can get this thing fired back up and running. One of my biggest concerns right now is this should have some form of Dynaflow transmission. They work great when they work, but when they don't work, there's probably 5 people in this country that know how to rebuild that transmission correctly. I've been through it multiple times with my old Buicks. So we'll have to keep that in mind. If it runs, it's a victory, but actually, will it go in gear? Good to go. She's dancing on all 4 paws. Okay, so this is an Automagical. We know the front 2 tires turn. We don't know if the rear is locked up or anything with the drive line.
Yeah.
But I've got a Diesel Scout that should be able to yank this thing. I'm gonna mow a path through the trees. We'll hook a chain on this. You can get an air tank and a respirator. Steer this, and let's see if we can pull it back to the shop. We got a journey ahead of us. Now we go revive a Scout. There it is.
It's got air in the tires, so that's good.
I can't even remember the last time that thing ran. This is a 1980 International Scout. It's actually a pretty rare one because it has the SD33 turbo diesel. They only made a few of these. Pretty gutless, but it's reliable and 4-wheel drive. Seem to have a reoccurring theme now where we get an International running and pull something else out. Now it's the Pontiac. Okay, this is gonna be sketchy. Hopefully this works. This side's rolling.
This side's locked. Jesus.
Can't see nothing.
It's rolling now.
It is? You want to unhook it? I'll spin around.
Okay.
This way, if you get cooking down this hill, I can grab a gear before we
Bang.
hit. So I might get a little, I might grab third. That's all I'm saying.
Oh.
Okay, now we're almost out of the trees. We got to go down a trail, through a hayfield, basically down the road to the shop. Should be fine. Love this old Scout. The utilitarian tractor-like. It gets the job done.
Go! Oh my God.
Got pretty close there. We made it. Okay, now, how do we get it back in the shop? Wow, it rolls really good, actually. That's surprising. Uh-oh. 4W.
Oh my God.
Little ambiance. That was personal. Why is it so poop-like? We've made the trek. The car is in Vice Grip Garage. Now, here's the plan. We don't have one. But I think we should start with seeing if this actually runs first. And it's going to get pretty dicey. But let's get this hood off so we can actually see, get over the fenders, work on this thing. We're going to start with the basics: spark, fuel, compression, probably also check the gears. And we'll probably end up with the least important: brakes. Hopefully it runs. It's been sitting a long time. All right, you want to bang on that key and we'll see if this thing spins over?
Yep.
We got a inline light bulb checker doodabber. And this bulb should flash if we got sparkles. Fingers crossed. Oh. Okay. It's got vacuum and it's spinning. That's really good news. I was worried this was going to be a boat anchor. I'm going to try to prime this. Hit her again. Oh. Come on. Yes. Come on, girl. It doesn't sound that bad. Valve train came right around. I'm gonna guess it's got oil pressure. I don't hear any clanking or banging. First time running, I'm gonna say in decades. Look at this thing. Oh, that's so cool. Yes! It runs, it's got oil pressure. It must have a lot of oil pressure because the valve train didn't even want to clank or nothing while we were cranking on it for a while. So that is fantastic news. Okay, we got a wheel stop in here. Yep. So I'm gonna bottle feed it again and just jam it and drive and see what happens. Okay. Oh yeah. Woo! Okay, that's a bigger victory than the engine, I gotta be honest. That's solid drive.
Oh yeah, she clicked in there.
Oh man. That just saved like 2 days. It would have been a big project converting this to a power guide. But now we can do fun things like brakes.
Sweet.
Early lunch. Okay, let's get it up in the air and see what the bottom side looks like. So I think where we're going to start is just a lot of the basic maintenance stuff. Try to get this thing running and idling on its own so we can further assess what's going on here. I'm going to drain the transmission, shift machine, the old go forward, go backwards box. Chad's going to crack the plug on like fuel tank, see if anything is even in there.
Oh, it smells real bad.
That looks like 10W30.
It's like fresh motor oil. Oh, that's brutal.
So we're getting into the Earl filter here. This one's a little bit different. Some of these older rigs, you just have a canister basically, or filter insert would go in the canister and then boop, you just put this up. So eventually, obviously, as automobile progressed, you get the whole thing to spin on. In this case, you keep reusing the can side and just drop this in to change your filter. Ooh, and that is one slimy, not so goodish looking filter. Triple trapper. That's cool. An old triple trapper. Ah. Eyes down, bay one. Triple trapping. Should run like a scolded coyote now. So my earlier estimates of how long this car sat, I think, was poorly misjudged. This car sat so long, the belt has hermetically sealed itself to the pulleys. And we can't seem to get it out. It's a really sweet idea.
Is that a standing wheel on it?
Yeah. What would you use? Yep. This episode of Tennessee Metal. See what I did there? Okay, put that belt on. Let's go home. Boom. Beautiful, man. And that's a green belt. That ain't going nowhere. So I'm gonna redo the ignition system here. Radio resistance, hyper low. Performance stuff back in the day, tell you what. Old school AC Delcos. Mine's got about 74 million miles on it. So this is pretty cool, doing some automobile archaeology here. The filter was just an AC, and the plugs are really old school AC as well. You can tell by the color green and the wide band as well, and it just says AC. It didn't become AC Delco until 1974. So the plugs and oil in this is 50 years old-ish. It's a long time. Doesn't necessarily mean that's when it was parked, but I doubt these have been run since 1974. That's pretty crazy. I'm gonna basically just start tuning this up, get a new fuel line from the rail to the pump, but we're just inching closer to having this thing sit here and idle. Chad's working hard on the doors. He found out the hard way as I was pulling them with the Scout. They just kind of flopped open and did all sorts of this stuff. I was just gonna barb wire them closed. He's got glass down and he's digging into latches and levers and mechanisms and all the stuff that I don't have patience for.
All right. Safety.
Okay, we've got new sparkulators in, lightning hoses, basically ignition's been updated. We've pushed air through the fuel line. There's fresh fuel. We know that we don't have any obstructions from the tank up to here, so now we're gonna try to get the mechanical fuel pump to work. I'm gonna bottle feed it. Hopefully we should see fuel spraying out of this. Then I'll plug that in and we'll see if the fuel make it happen is gonna make it happen. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's pumping. So let me plug this up. It's crazy how this thing is just like slowly coming to life. Okay, give her a go. Uh-oh, again. It sounds like it was turned off yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, the belt's staying on after our Dremel attack. It fires right up. Somehow the starter's hung in there. We've cranked the snot out of that thing. Yeah, there's no accelerator pump. So this is pretty awesome. It actually charges. The generator is working. We're getting like 12.6, 12.7 here, and the gauge in the dashing works. The story we heard was an old timer parked this and then unfortunately passed away. And I think that's probably actually the case. You hear that all the time and it's not, but pretty good old rig. So let me figure out this fuel delivery issue. Luckily, we've got a good old standby 2-jet sitting here. So I'm gonna go ahead and just bolt this on because I know this will have an accelerator pump. Should be able to rev this thing up. And Chad's got the heater hose capped off as well. So we should be able to fill this up with ice cube juice and see how many leaks we have. All right, ready? Sounds so much better.
Yeah.
Yes! Ha ha! Temp gauge is working, says it's right in the middle. Says it's charging. Oil pressure's in the middle. Horn kind of works. It's pretty pitiful. I think everything works with the radio and the dome light. Why did that all of a sudden start working?
Vacuum. Plug that.
The car is slowly coming alive. I just tried that a minute ago and it was like, yeah. Now, that's a get the heck out of the way. I got a Pontiac. You can almost see out of it. Well, good morning. We had another really late night last night, but we made big progress on the Pontiac.
Yeah, we got the brakes figured out. We got the rear brake drum turned, and now it stops going forward and backwards. So we should be good for some driving around in the track and stuff like that.
We got the master cylinder replaced, and we had to replace a lot of lines. We got a brand new line to the rear, both front sides, the rubber lines, all of that. But it's bled, feeling pretty confident. And we got the exhaust fixed. We cut off the old muffler, straight piped her with a little turn down. We're kind of just tootling around with little things here, waiting for Browder to show up. He's gonna start hand lettering and painting this car. I have started taping, which that's gonna be a big process. We're gonna get all the chrome covered because the nanosecond that lettering is dry, we're gonna clear coat this thing in and make sure we preserve and protect all that hand lettering for years to come. And then we can finally go enjoy this thing, hit the highway, find a track.
Oh yeah.
All right, taping, commence. So Browder's here, you remember him, he's done a lot of work for us. He does fantastic lettering, he's an awesome artist. Of course, we had to call him for this one. Now, back in the day, if you're gonna run NASCAR like we were talking earlier, you usually just kick the hubcaps off, tape a pillow to the steering wheel and go racing, but you had to have funds to do this, and people started picking up sponsors and things of that nature, put some jingle in your pocket for the weekend, for fuel and tires and whatnot. We're gonna do the same, and of course, we had to go with Hot Rod Magazine. So Browder did some research, and you combed all of the archives for 55 specifically.
Right.
Obviously 55 Pontiac, but the lettering on the back for the Hot Rod Magazine, that is era specific. And then I'll leave it to your professional opinion what we should do on the hood. If we're gonna do the Stratostreak, if we're gonna do the CI, or
horsepower sometimes.
Horsepower,
Yeah.
or, you know.
They like
I
to
don't know.
brag about that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, while he's doing this side, he'll explain what he's doing. I'm gonna go on the other side and start taping. I'm already cramping up.
Okay, so on the hot rod part of this, I went and researched the 1955 magazines. And what I did is I made a pattern and I perforated where the lines are. And I'll take chalk. This technique dates back to the 1500s when Michelangelo painted the Sistine Chapel. They restored those paintings in the early 80s and they found traces of his pounce patterns. And that's how we know that. So this is a very old technique and it's an old sign painter's trick. This is just an oil-based enamel sign painter's paint. And I'm putting a little bit of a tint to it just to kind of get a little bit closer to the red that's on it. And I'm gonna apply this so it gives the appearance that it's been on there this whole time, since 1955.
So Browder's up on the roof now, putting our driver,
And he's going to be putting on their Robert E. Peterson. Now, some of you might be familiar with that name, but it's the founder of Hot Rod Magazine, i.e. the quarter panels back here and Fast Forward, Motor Trend, and, well, honestly, this show. So I thought it would be really cool to get him up on the car there and be a tribute to him as well. Meanwhile, Chad and I are still taping off. This side is almost done. It's looking fantastic. Once we get some clear on this, it's going to be just amazing. Wait. Well, Browder, once again, you absolutely crushed it. I love how you used the paint that was there and worked around it, and it just looks incredible. Thanks again, man.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Woo! So to complete our look, we've got to change the tires and wheels, obviously. We're going to keep the steel wheel look, but these are really skinny, and obviously the tires aren't holding wind. So we're going to upgrade to some 15x8 steel wheels, and then the BF Goodrich radial TAs. These are 215/70 15s. And of course, you got to do white letter out, right? So we're going to mount these up first, and then I'm going to paint them. It's going to save a bunch of time and hassle. Just lean in, and I'll
Put my face by the side.
just... So the tires we got off the interwebs are way too narrow for our wheels, so we're going to try to stretch these on here. The old school one. Bring the thunder! Didn't work. Hey, I mean, it looked cool. I lost 2 eyebrows. Hit her! Boom!
That's how it went.
Gloss black is what we're gonna go with. It tied in the rust, like the age of the car, the shadow on the 55. It just made it look really cool. We're gonna let these sit for the night. The car's gotta dry for the night as well, all the lettering and everything that Browder did. And then in the morning, we're gonna clear coat it. These will be drying mean whilst we'll mount them up. And I think we're gonna try to drive this thing to the track. Hot Rod Garage gets a whole new studio. We get a bouncy castle. Well, Browder's artwork has fully dried. Now it's time to get this car into our professional paint booth and put some clear coat on this. And by professional, well, you've seen us use garden sheds and pop-up tents and everything. We really stepped her up this time. Guy went on the interwebs and found a blow-up spray booth. It's like an adult bouncy house, basically. Yeah. It's got like a mini bar area in the back. I don't know, it's pretty cool. We're gonna roll this out in there, quick wipe it down once over with some, I don't know, Earth Ghost juice, something, clean it up because of our handprints and all that. And we also have a bunch of bugs and mosquitoes and stuff like that that I don't necessarily want in the paint forever. Chad's actually gonna lay a coat down. He's never done it before. I'm gonna show him how easy it is. And then I'm gonna lay a second coat down. And then we're gonna call that good enough and go to lunch. As far as product goes, we're going to be using the Vice Grip Garage wipe-on clear coat, but you can also spray it if you want. We're going to be mixing the gloss and then the Vice Grip Garage matte clear, and we mix both of these equal parts. We're going to get more of a satin, so it's not going to be super shiny. It's not going to have that kind of dull sheen. Should land somewhere in the middle, and then of course we're just going to add our catalyst. It's an 8-to-1, so we'll have 8 parts clear, 1 part catalyst. Mix these up. I'll do several cups. Chad's never sprayed it before. I'm gonna hand it over to him, let him put a coat on. We'll let that flash off, and then we'll do it one more time. We are gonna wear a respirator. We do have a fan in our bounce house pulling some of the air out through some makeshift filters, and should turn out pretty good. Keep on rocking. Chad's doing really good. Guys, don't be afraid to do this stuff at home. It's not rocket science. Well, there's science, but it's not rocket science. And it's just clear coat. If you mess it up, you just sand it down and do it again. This is gonna look great. It already has a nice satin sheen. It'll dry a little bit duller, but it's looking awesome.
Great job, dude. Feel the rust blowing?
Oh yeah, seal it in.
Yeah, we wanted to get that in there. It's the 3D effect. Now we just let it bake in the bake booth. Higher than Snoop Dogg and Mount Everest.
Woo! Hey, the car has baked. It's dried. It looks absolutely incredible. The rust, you can see this really darkened up. The shadow looks great. And it brought a lot of this red back. Remember how there was such a big contrast between the hand painted and what was here? Now they virtually match. And it just tied everything in beautifully. And the best part is this awesome art here is going to be protected now for years and years to come. So we're going to roll it outside of the booth here. It's about 317 degrees in here. Get it back into the shop. And then I think that's it for the looks department. Okay, so got the car back on the lift. Chad's going to put the new tires and wheels on.
Okay, get out of there. Easy.
It's just hot rodding, dude. While he's doing that, I'm gonna throw sparks at the fuel tank right now. We have a fuel delivery issue. What happens a lot of times is varnish, rust, old gas. It gets just congealed into like a jelly in the pickup tube or the screen itself. I think this is shot. Shouldn't sound like the rising tide in there. It's full of rust. Okay, I guess we're putting a fuel cell in because race car. Okay, that's vacuumed. Then we're going full race car. Cut the trunk out of this thing, throwing in a fuel cell. We're gonna swing a fuel line around, plug that back into the original fuel line that I snapped off, trying to get the old fuel cylinder out. Okay, digital fuel pump's wired in. Now when we turn the key, that should pump. Ta-da! Fuel system.
Oh, geez.
Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot, Chad.
Yeah.
Jesus. It's gotta pass tech. Tacked. We're gonna see if this thing's gonna pull fuel, fire up and run. Hopefully so. We don't have time to test drive it. We're just gonna have to basically try to drive to the track tomorrow. Don't, this thing's gotta pull fuel. Hold on. Come on. Come on. Come on. There it is. We're good to go. We're gonna head back to Thunder Hill Raceway Park. You guys remember the bare metal Bel Air? Same track. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We might even try to post up some times. Chad versus me in the old 55. Well, we have successfully made it to Thunder Hill Raceway. This is a quarter-mile track, and get this, the bank angle is 33 degrees, which is actually more than the famous Bristol track. This is gonna be a lot of fun. Racetrack here, don't go off that side over there. Now, this is cool. This is what they did back in the day, and we've been saying this, but we dug this out of the trees, put some basic maintenance items on it, kicked the hubcaps off, and we're here just to do some fun racing, go around the track. Maybe try to keep it off the walls because we got to get home in it.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah. Otherwise, it'll be wrecked. I won't get to go. So.
Good point. I think the helmet's in it. Have fun.
All right. Oh, I don't know if this is extra large. Oh, I look like an idiot.
This is Chad's first time ever driving the car, so we might as well do it on the dirt track. Go fast, turn left. Okay, we'll get the stopwatch going. He's gonna try low gear and high gear. It wants to hunt in between the two. Oh, it looks so cool. Sorry. Look at the front tire. It is rough out there. It is bouncing like a basketball. I'm gonna have to keep that in mind. They used to tape stuff into the seats to make you not slide, but he'll figure it out. 29.33. I can't remember what we were running in the bare metal Bel Air. I think it was slightly faster. But this one looks way better, let's be honest. Give her! Feed her the onions! Visors are all shook down. 29.47. Consistent little devil. I can't do math, but that's really close. That was his fastest. It looks so good. Imagine 20 cars that look similar ripping around. Look at the intense look. It's really dialed in. 28.44, probably a record. Oh, pit stop. Is it getting hot at all? Still has oil pressure? Sweet, dude. Dude, the front tires look like they're about to rip off this thing. They're bouncing off the ground.
Right here, it's so rough. It's like everything's fine.
Those look cool. You ran really consistent.
You have like a pry bar to get this off, or? Oh. It survived. It was pretty shaky. Especially there's massive potholes right here, but other than that, it wasn't too bad. I mean, the front tires pushed a little bit, but now I got it tacked up for you. It'll probably be able to just...
Okay. Got the track dialed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is like a child's medium. Were you in low?
Yes, just leave it low.
Yeah!
Oh my God. It does bounce.
I can't tell if I'm going fast or not. My tongue was hanging out, but it was. Oh. There's the bumps. Man, these guys, nerves of steel back in the day. They'd race on sand, asphalt, concrete, dirt, mud. It didn't matter. They just wanted to go fast. I gotta try to figure out this corner.
Faster. 2706 is that one. Now he's sending it.
Oh, it automatically shifted.
right, last one. She's starting to get hot. Try up higher a little bit. That was fun. Man, I could just only imagine being door to door with cars like this. Very little control. Oh, it had to have been just a hoot.
I accidentally deleted it, so now I don't know what it was that you ran.
Oh, that's
No,
all right.
just kidding. Lap 9, you ran at 24.82.
It's hard to stop.
Smells
She's hot.
smells like
hot.
brakes real bad.
I was double footing it,
Oh,
trying to get the front to,
I seen you started taking that higher line.
yeah. Could you imagine being within 20 cars, just like, you know, some of them are smoking cigars, like.
The tires are off the ground half the time.
I
so
know.
when you turn, you're like, is it actually turning?
Do you see what I'm talking about? The front?
Oh my God. It looks way more violent though than it feels in the car, I think.
Well, she was just floating out there. That was really cool. That was a lot of
Yeah.
fun. There's so much rust falling everywhere. Well, there you have it. For a little of nothing, we pulled this 55 Pontiac out of the trees, got it running again, made it to the track, drove to the track, we raced it around the track, and now we're actually going to drive it home. Put some basic maintenance items on it, just spark plug wires, cap, rotor, brake master cylinder, and ran some new lines, rubber hoses. We put a fuel cell in it. We never touched the coolant, not even the hoses or anything. None of the shocks, none of that stuff. We did throw on some white letter BFGs, some 15x8 steel wheels, the beautiful artwork by Browder, and then the Vice Grip Garage clear coat just transformed this car entirely. Never even touched the interior, but that's what's great about this is for basically nothing, we have a fun running, driving classic back on the road.
That looks great.
Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Roadworthy Rescues, but be sure to stay tuned. There's plenty more to save. Hey, we rented this track. We might as well use it up.
Absolutely.
Do some more laps?
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, let's do it.